passes for better than 1,300 yards last season. Bucs are hoping to have him back on the field for Week 9. All right, here's some help, but not right away. Antonio Brown signed that deal Tuesday with the Bucs. He's not eligible until after this week's games due to the suspension from the league. He can't practice until then, but he can attend meetings this week. When he is cleared to play, the Bucs face the Saints. He's on probation for 2 years for felony burglary and battery charges. Here's his new quarterback.
Certainly, I'm happy for Antonio to get an opportunity to resume his career, and he's put a lot of time and energy into working on a lot of things in his life, and I know he's excited to play football. So everyone's going to earn a role on our team, and I know that's his mindset too. Again, I think receiver position is really a position of strength on our offense, and how Antonio fits into that is going to be up to him and the role that he can create for himself, which is, which we all know what he's capable of when he's playing.
Tom, do you feel as though you've put your reputation out for Antonio, and does he understand that?
He's his own individual. Everybody has the opportunity in life, and again, I'm just happy that he's got another opportunity to play in the NFL. It's a great league, and I've been in it for 21 years. It's blessed me with a lot of things in my life, and I love playing football. I know he does too, and anytime you can add another player to that mix, certainly of Antonio's caliber, it's only going to help all of us grow, be better. I'm excited to get on the practice field to see what we can make of it.
So AB joined an offense that's already been going vertical. Brady's never really been one to push away up the field, but he's not been checking down much this season. Per NFL Next Gen, the craft beer vinyl records people, Brady's 9 completions thrown 40 yards or more through the air this season, trailing only Russell Wilson in that category. Tua getting his first ever start in the NFL. A lot of fun because he gets to play Aaron Donald. Let's check him out in the weekly walkthrough. The 22nd different starting quarterback for Miami since the year 2000 when Marino retired. Only the Browns and Bears have tried more quarterbacks. He's going to have to be good in those close margins of error, as I call them. Next gen kids, the craft beer guys say the Dolphins receivers have averaged 2.3 yards of separation, worst by any receiving corps in the league. Ryan Fitzpatrick had the 4th highest rate of tight window passes in the league before being taken over now by Tua. All right, he's going to have to rely on his offensive line to keep him safe, but according to the pass block win rate at ESPN, the Dolphins have sustained their block 2.5 seconds, 48% of the time. That's 3rd worst in the NFL, just ahead of both New York teams. The man that caused the most problems is going to be this guy, Aaron Donald, all up in his life, all up in everybody's life. For more on Donald's possible disruption, here's Cameron Wolfe.
Don't be surprised to hear Tua yelling 99, 99 pre-snap Sunday. It's for Aaron Donald. Dolphins OC Chan Gailey wants to identify him. The goal, to scheme double teams his way and plays away from him. In a Tua offense, expect more run-pass options, screens, and quick timing routes to neutralize Donald's aggressiveness. The Dolphins want Tua to be more point guard than superstar. Ryan Fitzpatrick's average time to throw, 2.41 seconds. And with 2 rookies protecting Tua's blind side, he'll need to duplicate that in order to prevent Donald from turning his feel-good story into a nightmare.
Brady, can you imagine first career NFL start and you're staring at old 99? Despite being double-teamed most often this season, Donald has created 10 sacks with his pass rush wins, the most in the NFL. Also beating his block in 2.5 seconds, 22% of the time. 2nd highest rate among interior defensive linemen. Essentially, we're humiliating offensive linemen here in the Aaron Donald segment. And by the way, Tua will not only have to deal with Donald and Jalen Ramsey, he'll have to deal with Dolphins history. Did you know since Dan Marino retired in 2000, Dolphins QBs are 1-4 when making their first career starts. Chad Henne, the only winner of the batch. And by the way, if you're wondering how Dan Marino fared, he lost his first career start a couple games into the 1980s.
Understood how they would be attacked, and they were more physical than the Chicago Bears, just like their leader said they needed to be. This is one of the best teams in the NFC, and we have to start acknowledging it.
Those are so great because you get just such a sense, Ryan, of how little time Foles has, and it's happening at 1,000,000 miles an hour given the way that Rams defense is playing. And you allude to where I wanted to go. You think they're one of the best teams in the NFC. They play in the best division by a lot. Everyone's got a plus differential. Everyone's over 500. How do you assess where the ultimate power in the West is moving forward?
Well, if you're in the West, you wish you were in the East because all of these teams would win that division. Shoot, every other team would win that division. But you got to start with the Seattle Seahawks. And I know we just watched them come off of a loss, but we're not expecting Russell Wilson to throw 3 interceptions week in and week out. And now when you're going to let Russ cook, this is going to happen sometimes. You're hoping to get Jamal Adams back healthy, and that adds to that defense, and we could see a little more of that playmaking we saw early on in the year. Russ is still the leader for the MVP. Pete Carroll still one of the best coaches in the game, and I think that they'll be the #1 team, but they will be fighting with the team, I think that's #2, and that's the Los Angeles Rams. When you watch this team play, to me, they're the most complete. Not as good at quarterback as the Seattle Seahawks, but outside of the pocket, Jared Goff is cooking, and Sean McVay is doing an excellent job of getting him where he needs to go. And we talked about that defense already, Scott. And I know we don't have enough time to roll tape of everyone, but the Arizona Cardinals are balling, and the San Francisco 49ers, as beat up as they are so well coached. They are in the fight too. What's going to be sad is that all 4 of these teams can't make it to the playoffs, but this is going to be a war of attrition, and I believe the divisional matchups tell the tale of who represents this division in the playoffs.
I agree, and I think Sunday night's game was a great example of what every one of these games it figures to be. Sort of a coin flip game, and can you win those coin flip games? That's ultimately, as you know, Ryan, what differentiates who plays into January and who has to watch on TV. Yep. Always enjoy the time. Look forward to talking next week. Thanks, man.
Yes, sir. See you next week.
All right. Sean McVay, I've been wanting to talk to him for a long time, and I'm going to ask him about his punter. How can you not? Talk about 3 phases of the game, and we showed you Goff. We just talked about the defense. And part of the reason the defense was able to just get after the Bears, look at what Johnny Hekker did. I mean, we used to keep inside the 20 stats back in the day. Well, coffin corner. They were inside the 10 after all 5 of Hecker's punts. Inside the 10 5 times. It was outrageous how well he performed on Monday night. All right, to Monday Night Football. SoFi Stadium, the host for the first time. You got $5 billion, Steve, just build you a stadium. Get some waterfalls, the whole shebang. The defense is top 5 in both scoring and yards against, and they looked like it in this one. Donald and Mack, and early on, Goff rolls out Van Jefferson. Pick him up?
Maybe.
We tried that earlier this year. Rams trying to get a little rhythm going. Goff
Easy.
Floats it out to Josh Reynolds. Another look here as Buster Scrine can't get the matchup sorted out. Reynolds able to get the step, and the Rams lead 7-0. Second quarter, it's a 7-3 game. And as you see, the Bears are backed up there, and that was a story of the game. Hekker did a remarkable job pinning them, and they were constantly having to fight just to get first downs. And here you see a great completion to Javon Wims, but a way better hit from Jalen Ramsey, who stops him from getting the mark. They actually gave it to him at first, took a look, it didn't get there. Got to give it back. A few drives later, Foles pressured, as Aaron Donald is wont to do. Donald and Gaines get there. Greg Gaines. 2-minute warning. Still a 10-3 game. Foles again. Nowhere to go. It's Donald, Leonard Floyd, former Bear Floyd in on it. And Foles, like a little kid at the beach when a giant wave comes, just duck. Get the hell out of the way. Third quarter. Rams trying to stretch this lead out. Malcolm Brown stays on his feet. Stays on his feet. O-line gets involved.
Push.
Eventually there'd be a flag for unsportsmanlike. Khalil Mack a little shaken up on the play, but you have to appreciate the effort. That's a bit of foreshadowing of bad beats, by the way. The play to the whistle. Brown into the end zone. Sean McVay excited to having a little bit of breathing room. That Bears defense had kept him in it. Finally, the Bears offense in the red zone. Foles rolls to his left, flips to the corner. It's into double coverage. Tipped by Troy Hill. Taylor Rapp squeezes it. And the Rams continue to lead by 14. Robert Woods, dangerous in that sweep game. Gets around the corner, gains 26. Rams on the march again. Then it's Goff. No Higbee in this game, Gerald Everett. He can be a weapon in the passing game, and often is. Gotta take your pick.